Investigators call it one of the worst crashes they've seen, and they say it killed a Russell County Sheriff's Office employee. We're learning more about an abuse case involving a former Kentucky woman. Police say she kept her disabled sister in a closet. What we've learned about an ATV crash that took the life of a Kentucky college football player.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with breaking news.
Good evening. Tonight, a woman has been rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries after being hit by a car in Lexington. Police are trying to figure out how it happened. They say that the car hit the woman about an hour ago at the intersection of New Circle Road and North Broadway. Our Monique Blair just talked to Lexington Police. She joins us live with the breaking details. Monique?
Well, Sam, as you can see, the scene is still very active here behind me. I'm told the accident happened around 9:50 here on North Broadway, right before West New Circle Road. Lieutenant Joe Anderson with the Lexington Police Department says a woman was crossing North Broadway and was not walking in the crosswalk when a car struck her. She was lying in the roadway when emergency crews got to the scene. Lieutenant Anderson says she was transported to a local hospital and has life-threatening injuries.
She was crossing just behind the gray Chevy Impala, and she was crossing from the Shell station back over to the Hardy side of Broadway.
Okay.
And that car was headed outbound on Broadway.
Now, Lieutenant Anderson tells me the driver was the only person in that car that hit the woman, and that driver has been taken to give a blood test, but at this time, no charges have been filed. Reporting live in Lexington, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thank you. We'll continue to update that story through the morning hours on WKYT.com. The crash was so bad it closed a busy southern Kentucky road for hours, and tonight the coroner says it killed a member of the Russell County Sheriff's Office. Investigators say the crash on US 127 in Clinton County involved a dump truck and two pickups. It happened this afternoon about a mile north of the Tennessee state line. Sam Smith is tracking the investigation tonight. It's our top story at 11.
This stretch of 127 in Clinton County near the Tennessee border was shut down while crews investigated and cleaned up after the deadly wreck.
It's a very large debris field. There's just a lot of pieces everywhere. And there's gas and oil and diesel all over the road.
Monday afternoon, officials say a driver in a pickup truck was attempting to pass another vehicle by going around it. They say the pickup truck collided with a fully loaded dump truck. Clinton County Coroner Steve Talbot pronounced the pickup truck driver dead at the scene. Talbot says this wreck was among the worst he's ever seen.
The little truck that the deceased person had been driving was completely destroyed. He had struck a dump truck head on. The dump truck ran completely over his vehicle.
Talbot says 39-year-old Sean Matthew Cook of Jamestown was killed. He says no one else was inside Cook's truck and no one else was injured in the wreck. He says Cook was a member of the Russell County Sheriff's Office. Kentucky State Police continue to investigate the crash. In Clinton County, Sam Smith, WKYT.
State police say that US 127 has reopened. Bernard Funeral Home in Russell Springs is handling the funeral arrangements. We've been tracking rain across much of Kentucky all day, and it looks like rain and storms will be common sights this week. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has been telling us prepare for a few wet days, right, Chris?
Yeah, we've got some scattered stuff back into the picture later tonight into your Tuesday, Sam. Then a strong cold front makes its way into central and eastern Kentucky. Rainfall out there today has been a little on the heavy side across parts of southern and eastern Kentucky, where if you look at Defender and the estimates, you're talking about some local amounts a little greater than a ½ inch. Now, very light amounts across parts of central Kentucky, in a lot of cases barely dampening the ground into the Lexington metro. What's left as of now, raindrops across eastern Kentucky. Again, just some steadier rains, nothing really to get too excited about. Sandy Hook, West Liberty, down through Campton. Maybe a little heavier burst of rain from Laurel County eastbound on the Hal Rogers Parkway into Manchester, Clay County, over toward Hayden into Leslie County. Most of central and western Kentucky in pretty good shape, but with a wet ground and some clearing skies, overnight fog could be an issue tomorrow morning. Look at your hour hour-by-hour fog forecast. Visibilities early in the day may be close to a mile or lower, and it may take a little while before that fog burns away into parts of eastern Kentucky. The overall setup over the next few days is a humid one. Then we've got a big storm system cranking across the Plain States. That's going to head toward the Great Lakes. That'll drag another fall front into central and eastern Kentucky. And Sam, when I come back in a few minutes, we're going to time additional storms and that cold front with the hour-by-hour forecast.
Chris, thank you. A federal judge has issued a new two-part ruling in the case of the Rowan County clerk. Her office is not issuing marriage licenses. Today, Judge David Bunning denied a stay on the injunction that ordered Kim Davis to issue the marriage licenses, but he immediately issued a temporary stay on his ruling, so the U.S. 6th Circuit Court of Appeals can review the case. The judge said because there are constitutional issues involved and because emotions on both sides of the debate are running high, he decided to issue the temporary stay. So bottom line, it appears for now Davis's office will not have to issue any marriage licenses until the appeals court reviews the case. Police call it a disturbing discovery. They say they found a disabled woman starving and locked in a closet in a Michigan home, and they've now charged her sister with abuse. Police say the suspect, Candy Lawson, and her sister used to live in Frankfort, and they think the abuse may have started there. Monique Blair has an update on the investigation.
Michigan police say they went to Candy Lawson's home after a handyman reported finding a woman locked up.
He was let in and went up and checked and found her locked in the closet. The closet was locked from the outside.
Police freed Lawson's disabled sister from the closet that was 7 feet long and 4 feet wide. Police say she weighed only 74 pounds when they found her.
Severely emaciated, and she had only a 5-gallon bucket to tend to her bathroom needs.
The stench was just unreal.
Today I spoke with Raymond Russell, who tells me he worked with Lawson at the tattoo shop she once owned in Frankfort.
I'm just as surprised as everybody else. She was always nice to me. She was pretty much like family.
Police say it appears Lawson was abusing her sister for several years, but Russell says he went to Lawson's home often and never saw her sister or thought anything suspicious was going on at her home.
She always talked about going back home, you know, because she had to go help take care of her sister and spend time with her sister and stuff like that. I'd been at her home and everything, you know, here, but her sister was always in Michigan.
In Franklin County, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Franklin County Sheriff Pat Melton says his office did respond to some complaints at Lawson's home when she lived in Kentucky, but he says none of the issues involve Lawson's sister. New tonight, a Laurel County father has been arrested. Police say someone found his toddler wandering alone outside. The Laurel County Sheriff's Office charged 25-year-old Danny Jones Jr. with endangering the welfare of a minor and public intoxication. Deputies say a woman on Delbert Hodge Road found the 23-month-old child crying on her front porch yesterday afternoon. They say the child was only wearing a soiled diaper and appeared to be hungry and thirsty. Deputies say when they went to Jones' home next door, he told them he had just woke up and he thought the child was supposed to be with the mother. The child is now with other family members. New tonight, investigators say an apparent ATV crash has killed a college football player in northern Kentucky. The Campbell County Police Department says 21-year-old Mitchell Kramer was found dead early this morning along Rifle Range Road. They say he was the only person riding the ATV. Thomas More College leaders say that Kramer was a junior there and a member of the school's football team. Police are not sure what caused the crash. Tonight, investigators hope some newly released surveillance pictures will help them track down a couple of burglary suspects. The Jessamine County Sheriff's Office says the pictures show the suspect's car. They say 2 weeks ago, the two men broke into 4 homes near the Champion Trace Golf Club and stole jewelry, money, and electronics. On the day of the burglaries, investigators say a deputy spotted the car, but his cruiser crashed before he could stop them. He was injured in the crash.
These suspects ran on into Fayette County from the scene that day. I think it's a very callous crime.
Deputies say they've increased patrols in the area where the homes were broken into. They say if caught, the suspected burglars will also face charges connected to the crash that injured the deputy. Many people considered him to be a hero, and tonight they're remembering a Maryland man who often visited sick children in hospitals dressed as Batman. He died last night after a car hit the Lamborghini that he drove around as a so-called Batmobile. The car had broken down on Interstate 70 in Maryland. Don Daler has the story.
Some superheroes are born. Others find their calling later in life.
Do me a favor, do well in school.
Lenny B. Robinson was the latter.
Very nice to meet you.
But this Batman's mission wasn't to fight crime. It was to put smiles on the faces of children.
Weston, you guys rock.
Robinson dedicated his life to visiting kids who were fighting life-threatening diseases. But he had fans of all ages.
I love you, man. You're the best. You're the best. You're doing a great job.
I want you to do me a favor and get better. Okay. That'll make me very happy.
14 years ago, the Baltimore native sold his cleaning business. He used the proceeds to buy a Lamborghini, which he modified to resemble a Batmobile. Robinson became internationally famous when a video was posted of him being pulled over by police.
It's a black Lamborghini and a driver dressed as Batman.
Instead of issuing a ticket, the officers asked for a picture. He later bought a replica of the Batmobile from the 1960s TV show. There's no way of knowing how many lives this Cape Crusader touched, but judging by the number of photos on social media, there were plenty.
At the end of the day, you must ask yourself, did I make a difference?
What's your name?
Asked and answered. Don Daler, CBS News, New York.
Yes, he made a difference. Police say Robinson's car had engine trouble last night. They say he was checking the car while standing in the fast lane of Interstate 70 when it was hit by another car. According to the Washington Post, he spent more than $25,000 of his own money on Batman-related items every year that he would give to children. New tonight, vandals have damaged a Martin County church, and the Martin County Sheriff's Office says it's being investigated as a hate crime. Members of the Calf Creek United Baptist Church say the vandals covered one side of the building in offensive graffiti. The vandals also removed outdoor utility wires and pipes and tore up a fence.
2 benches that sat underneath the shed and a barrel, that they stacked those up in front of the side door, and we could tell that the window in the door had been doused or something. We thought they might have been going to burn it. So.
Police have not made any arrests for the vandalism. The pastor says the church does have insurance, and he's planning to buy some security equipment for that building. Tonight, the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office has a warning for people who post pictures of crashes on Facebook. Investigators say people sometimes post the pictures before police or other emergency crews arrive at the scene of a crash. They say that some relatives of crash victims show up at a scene and get in the way of emergency crews. Police say that taking a picture of a crash and posting it online could cause you to be called in as a witness in a court case.
If it becomes a civil matter or a civil lawsuit, then they could find themselves in the middle of a court battle, spending several hours in court as a witness to this accident.
Police also say if you shoot video of a crash scene while driving, you could be charged with a misdemeanor.